Colin Egbert. He's a great friend of mine. He and I have worked together for a long time. He is just really, and he's not only been a great friend, but he's also been an inspiration to me as well. He started a company called realestateinvestor.com. It's actually a website that he co-founded with a good friend of his, Matt Lice. And these guys have raised already over $120,000 for the business. And he is in the middle right now of a first round of funding of $1.8 million to take this thing national big time. I mean, he's already got over 4,000 members to realestateinvestor.com internationally. And if you're not, he's also a vendor member with Siren, and if you're not a part of realestateinvestor.com, you ought to sign up. It's free. And it's a great opportunity to get a lot of training, a lot of education. It's a perfect fit with what we do here in Columbus locally and face-to-face. Colin does a great job through REI, realestateinvestor.com, of providing you training and information. As a matter of fact, one of the programs that I do, sales and marketing negotiations, or sales and negotiations, which is a very pet topic of mine, we're going to be doing a course on here very soon. So if you haven't signed up for realestateinvestor.com, or even checked it out, I strongly suggest that you do that. Colin's doing a lot of really exciting things. He got very involved in short sales as the market shifted over the last couple of years, and he's done some pretty exciting things, and he's going to share with us right now tips, tricks, and secrets on how to do successful short sales. And this is not a course on, if you're brand new to short sales, that this is going to teach you step by step, A to Z, how to make that work. That's not it at all. If you're familiar with short sales, it is a great opportunity for you to take some very powerful information back to the leads that you're working right now, the banks that you're talking to and negotiating with right now to get deals done. If you are brand new, there are a lot of resources available to you on realestateinvestor.com, most of which are free, that you can take advantage of to learn. So take notes now anyway today on these advanced techniques, and you can utilize those when you start doing short sales on your own. So with that, I would like to invite up Colin Egbert. Come on in, Colin.
Hi everybody, my name is Colin Egbert, and it's an absolute pleasure to be here. And I love speaking to any type, size of room, but when I see a size that is not just folks quantity, but also quality of individuals, I truly feel honored to be able to speak in front of you, because I'll tell you what, there's a lot of folks here that have actually been doing this business for longer than I have, that might have actually done even more deals than I have, and that's okay, because what I'm here to talk about over this short period of time, and I'll tell you what, I'm going to be speaking quite rapidly, so if you have a pad and paper, you want to grab it. Because I am going to be going through some things and you might miss it. If you do miss something and you don't get it, feel free to come up afterwards and let me know. And before I begin, I got to say, Mr. Brian Urbanski, as you can probably see from just this environment, this ambiance that he's created here tonight is something special. And I had the privilege to be able to work under Brian. You know, he says that we're great friends. He doesn't really tell, and maybe it's because of the humility that the man has, but he truly took me under his wing. I read this book, it was several years ago, and this book said it was Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Has anyone read that? Excellent, awesome. And so I read Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and I saw Real Estate Riches, which was another book right afterwards in the Rich Dad series. And it said, find a mentor. But I was like, where do you find a mentor? Do you go to, Mentors R Us? I don't think so. You can't really find a place. Where do you actually go without being able to spend a whole bunch of money to be able to find somebody that's going to be able to help you out? And Brian, and I was so privileged, because what I did is I started calling up all the We Buy Houses signs that you see on the side of the road. And I just basically said, will you help me? Will you teach me? I'll go up and bang up these signs that I'm calling up. I'll go up and I'll deliver flyers. I'll do whatever it is. I'll put my sweat equity in, because I sure as heck don't have a lot of cash. And I sure as heck don't have a lot of other things. What's that?
You only got 45 minutes left.
Are you going to do that to me the whole time?
Probably.
All right. So Mr. Urbanski, I'll tell you what, and the only time you would ever interrupt me like that is if I was talking about him. So let's give Mr. Brian Urbanski a big round of applause. You are the man. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to talk about what this is and what this is not first, just so you kind of get an overview of what it is that we're going to be doing during this small time, this intimate time that we're going to be working together. This is not an overview, as Mr. Urbanski said, of all of short sales. I'm not going to be going over, this is a Liz Pendon's list. This is what you do at 90 days, it becomes in default. We're not going to go over that kind of stuff. I'm going to go over some certain things, certain key points that I am going to share with you that hopefully will allow, if you aren't already doing short sales, it's going to encourage you to be able to get other additional training, the other parts, the other nuts and bolts that will allow you to take action on it. So I'm going to give you some things that worked for me. I'm also going to tell you some things that didn't work for me. So that is a little bit about what it is not. This is about a service. It's about the ability to be able to effectively do short sales as a business. And let me say that again. As a business, and we'll talk a little bit more about that, not as a hobby and not as a self-employed, right? If everyone knows Kiyosaki, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, going over to that other side, the other quadrant, the right side of the quadrant, or if I'm going your way, this side, the right side of the quadrant, is challenging. Going from that E or that S over to that B or that I is a challenge. So we're going to be going over some of the things of how I messed it up, and we're going to go over some of the things of how I was able to learn and kind of do the Napoleon Hill, so to say, of how I was able to learn from some of the best people in the entire nation. And when we talk about short sales, I'll tell you, there may be a few folks here that have done more short sales than I have. I'll tell you. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to share with you what ability that I had, which was being able to take short sales from the top experts, an individual like Pat Precourt in Connecticut, who was actually our first investor on realestateinvestor.com, who had over did 400 short sales, not like got them in the pipeline, but closed 400 short sales. Does anyone know anyone in Columbus that has closed 400 short sales? Probably not. And the reason why is because there's far and few between. So we're going to go over some of those things as well. A little bit by